This is Jackie with number 10 in our series of videos on New Age Christianity. Up until now, I've been talking mostly about the Christian part of New Age Christianity. Tonight I'd like to talk a little bit more about the New Age part. Now, just like not all Christians are New Agers, not all New Agers are Christians either. And so, in my opinion, New Age Christianity gets a lot of its ideas from the Aquarian Gospel, which is a very definitely distinctly Christian book. And that's a lot of what I've been discussing up until now. But there are some other ideas out there, and I'd like to touch on a few of those tonight. This may be a little different from anything you've heard before, so just bear with me and keep an open mind, and we'll see how it goes. A lot of you may have heard some terms floating around out there, things like the shift, the consciousness shift, the ascension, the event, the flash. There's all sorts of terms for it. They all refer to the notion that the whole planet right now is in the process of making an unprecedented transition. It's moving from 3D to 5D density, and at least some of humanity is going along with it. And I say at least some because there seems to be a difference of opinion out there as to whether all of humanity is going to make this shift at the same time, or whether some people who may be not quite just ready yet to do that are going to remain as they are while they prepare to make that shift at some point. You may have also heard the term New Earth, and New Earth refers to where we'll be after this ascension process occurs. Now, according to a lot of New Age people, this ascension will be an actual physical change in our bodies. Strands of DNA that we have that have long been dormant will suddenly activate. Our bodies will change from carbon-based to crystalline-based. They'll become basically light bodies or bodies of energy rather than so much physical bodies. Now, the Bible spoke about this a very long time ago when it said, "Not everyone will die, but everyone will be changed in the twinkling of an eye at the end of the age." Now, the 5D density, or the New Earth, will be existing at a higher vibrational level. Everything in the universe vibrates at the atomic level. The more physical, solid something is, the lower the vibration rate. And then the higher the vibration rate, the more energy it is versus matter. So as we ascend, our vibration becomes faster. It raises to a higher level, and our bodies become less physical and more energy. Now, the term Christ consciousness, which you may also have heard, refers to the highest vibrational level. That vibrational level is unconditional love, and that's what Jesus embodied on earth as the Christ of the Piscean Age. And this is what all of us are moving toward. Now, another thing that you might have heard mentioned is something called the 3 days of darkness. There's different interpretations of what exactly this is and what it's for and how it works, so I'll just give you what I've heard and what makes sense to me. Supposedly, this will happen as the Earth moves to the higher dimensions. As we go from this dimension to the one we're going to, we pass through some intervening dimensions. And during this time that we're passing through these intervening dimensions, everything is dark. The sun doesn't shine, lights don't come on, it'll be total darkness for 3 days. I've heard people say that that's in the Bible. I'm not sure where, but I'll take their word for it. I don't claim to know a whole lot about this, but I'm just kind of sharing with you what I've heard. The 3 days will occur in connection with a pole shift. Now, we know from the geological records that the poles, the magnetic poles of the Earth, have switched polarity in the past. So the North Geographic Pole becomes the South Magnetic Pole. The South Geographic Pole becomes the North Magnetic Pole. Because the last time this happened was so long ago that there weren't even any humans on Earth, and therefore nobody to record it, we don't know just exactly what the effects are. But scientists have been predicting a pole shift for a while now because the magnetic poles are moving closer to each other. The geographic poles are the two ends of the axis that the Earth rotates around, and they don't move. But the magnetic poles are connected with the Earth's magnetic field, and they move around a lot, and they're getting closer all the time. They've been moving for a while, and they're getting pretty close now. And I guess some scientists think that that's what is going to trigger this pole shift, is the poles drawing closer to each other. So maybe the 3 days of darkness is one of the effects of the pole shift. But this is the advice I've heard with regard to navigating those 3 days. First of all, you need to have candles that have been blessed by a priest or some other spiritual leader, someone from whatever your faith tradition is, because these are the only things that are going to work to give light. Regular candles aren't going to light, flashlights aren't going to light, nothing's going to light. But they say the blessed candles will light. Also, I have heard that you should stay inside, and this won't happen just abruptly. You'll have some warning, probably at least a day's warning as things gradually start to get darker. So if it gradually starts to get darker for no discernible reason, you'll need to go inside and stay inside. Pull your blinds, stay away from windows and doors, don't look out. The reason being because these intervening dimensions that we're passing through are inhabited by intelligent entities, some of whom are not necessarily friendly, so you probably don't want to interact with them. One other thing I want to mention is about timelines, and here I want to delve ever so slightly into the realm of quantum physics, and I am not a physicist, quantum or otherwise, so I do this with a little hesitation, and I don't go into it too deeply. So if there's any physicists out there, feel free to correct any misstatements I make. But as I understand it, from a layman's term, quantum physics is all about probabilities and potentialities. So any given particle doesn't exist in just one spot, but in many infinite spots simultaneously until it is measured, observed, interacted with in some way. And at that point, all these potential points on this quantum wave collapse into this one point where it has been observed and interacted with. So that brings us to timelines, because they work kind of the same way. There's an infinite number of potential timelines. When you get up in the morning, you immediately start making decisions about what to wear, what to eat for breakfast, and so forth. You have a lot of choices. You might have pancakes for breakfast, you might have ham and eggs, you might have cereal, you might just have a cup of coffee. But once you make the choice, then the other options for that particular meal are gone. And once you decide to have cereal, then that breakfast with cereal becomes a part of your timeline, and the other possibilities are gone. Now, do you remember Winter Solstice 2012, when everybody said that something momentous was going to happen, right? And it didn't seem like anything momentous happened at all. and you may have thought, well, that was just a lot of hype. Nothing happened. Well, I believe something did happen, and I personally even felt a change, a shift in the energy while I was sitting in my living room that night. This is what I think happened, and it's just a theory. It's not necessarily even my theory. Other people have this theory as well, but I think that the ascension timelines collapsed into one at that point. Prior to that point, there was a real question whether or not ascension was going to happen at all. There are human beings on Earth that very much don't want it to happen, that have been trying actively to stop it, and they're still trying to stop it. But I believe at that moment, the moment of that galactic alignment in 2012, all the potential ascension timelines collapsed into one, and that one timeline does lead to the ascension occurring. So now it's inevitable. It's not going to be stopped. As one of my spirit guides, who also happens to be my mom, who has made her transition, told me, there's no way this can end badly. It ends in the stars. So this is a little different than what we've been talking about up until now. It may raise some questions, thoughts, objections, whatever. If so, again, you can always comment on this video on Facebook or Instagram. And remember also that the transcript for this can be found on my blog site, JacquelineJoan.com. That's JacquelineJoan.com. And definitely, if you have any questions or concerns, please leave a comment and we can talk about it next time. If I don't get any comments next time, right now what I think I want to talk about, and it always depends because I feel like I'm being guided as to what to include in these videos, so they can always change at the last minute. But right now what I'm thinking is I will probably be talking about some other New Age kind of things like tarot, astrology, medium, spirit guides, angels, starseeds, where this all fits in, particularly with New Age Christianity. So until then, love and blessings to everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.